coming together for the 1933 film Flying Down to Rio. They weren't the main stars, and Rogers was only cast at the last moment. But their scenes together stole the entire movie, and studio bosses realized they had struck gold. Astaire was the ultimate dancer. Rogers brought out the best in him. Katharine Hepburn once said, "He gives her class, she gives him sex appeal." Both scored massive successes on their own. Astaire was an icon of entertainment, respected for being a dance innovator. Ginger Rogers won the Best Actress Oscar in 1941 for her role, her straight role in Kitty Foyle. And for a time, she became Hollywood's highest paid star. In truth, they were wary of being forever looked on as a double act. And although Rogers once said she adored Astaire, she also conceded they were never bosom buddies. But the American public fell in love with them, with many believing they were a couple off-screen as well as on.
She was christened Virginia Catherine, but that was too much of a name for her cousin, who called her just Ginger. She was born in Independence, Missouri, and she always seemed destined for the stage. At the age of 4, she was playing the part of a war orphan. At 16, she won the Texas State Charleston Championship, and it was then that her career really began. Her mother, Layla, journalist and screenwriter, became her first full-time manager, guiding and guarding those early days. In 1930, Ginger Rogers was on Broadway in the Gershwin musical Girl Crazy. That was September 1930, and it was from this success that she went on to Hollywood. 45 films later, she won an Oscar for the title role in Kitty Foyle. Another 28 films later, she was back again on the Broadway stage, this time in Hello, Dolly. And now she's moving across from the New York to the London stage, from Dolly to Maine. It's been a long, distinguished and successful career. But how tough was the going along the way?
I have come from a very hard school. I've had to work very hard for what has come to me. If I got a part in a film, it was always a very difficult role. If I've had a dance to do, it's always been a very hard one to do. I've thought so, and other people who have thought so too. But it has not been dropped in my lap like a handful of gold. No, I come from the hard school of learning in this business.
You were mentioning earlier on that your mother handled a great deal of your business. Are you also a good businesswoman now?
Well, I think so. I think I'm a fairly good businesswoman. My business is really my work. And outside of having a number of hobbies, which I have to pass the time away, my work is really acting. I enjoy it.
What does money mean to you? I mean, you're enormously successful.
It's a means by which one may fulfill one's next desire or obligation. In the good sense, I never have wanted to be the richest woman in the world. Never have wanted it. And I've never wanted to be married to the richest man in the world. I've never had any of those great... I've never wanted to have the greatest, the most beautiful car in the world. I don't want material things. I want those things that are needful in life, but not necessarily the most valuable thing according to dollars and cents. Does that answer your question?
That answers it absolutely perfectly, and you don't surprise me in some ways. But now, I want to come to the fact that you are a legend in your own time. You will know that so many people remember you for the one great thing, if for nothing else, and this must please you no end, and that is this tremendous partnership that you had with Fred Astaire. Astaire, because he, like you, is a consummate professional.
Oh, you're talking about, yes, sir. When you see a workman, you see Mr. Astaire. You say, is he hard to work with, and am I hard to work with? If you like people who like their work and who work at their work, then we're hard workmen. He is, I am, and we're very definite about what we like and what we dislike. And if that's considered hard to work with, then you've got the answer to your question.
Have you ever even danced a dozen steps with him since the last film you've made?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes. The last film we made was The Barclays at Broadway, and it was made at MGM in color. It was the first color film we ever made. Then we've seen each other quite frequently. The time that we danced together for one brief minute was the Academy Award. Didn't it play in London? A film of it?
When you and
Fred and
Astaire
I
presented
yes,
the prizes?
Yes. Did it play there?
No, it didn't. Tell me what happened.
Well, we got on the stage, backstage, waiting for because we had been chosen to, both of us, present an award together.
This I remember,
at the Academy. So they came to me and said, I think you'll be on in about 45 minutes. And I said, well, where is Mr. Astaire? And they said, well, he'll be around here in a minute. So he came around, and I said, wouldn't it be fun if when we went on the stage, wouldn't that just be great if you and I just did a little something like that, and then walked up to and he's very shy. Fred is very shy, and everything is, from the very beginning, no, I don't think so, No, that's Fred. So I said, well, okay, I just thought it was a good idea. And then he walked away, and he went across the stage, and the music was playing, and I could hear the time was coming close to our appearance together. And we were supposed to come, he was on the one stage, he was stage left, and I was stage right. We were to cross each other, grabbed our hands, and walk straight down to the podium. So about 3 minutes before, he came in, and he said, I thought that over. That might be kind of fun, really, it might be. He said, why don't, he said, what do we do? I said, well, I don't know, what do you say? What do we do? It was fun. It was kind of like, a big secret we were having together. So we worked out a little kind of nothing. He grabbed me by the hand and whirled me, and then we just walked right down to the podium. Well, we did just that when it came, because no one had known, the producer, the director, no one in the whole place knew that we were going to do this silly thing. So he came stage left, and I came stage right. We crossed each other, and he grabbed my hand, and he whirled me into a whirl, and we both went into a whirl, and then quietly we walked out of the podium. Well, the house just came down. They were so adorable to us. It was a lovely minute. I enjoyed it more than anybody.
Did you?
Yeah.
And now, if the gentlemen of the orchestra will turn to their arrangement, we want to play on the undisputed king and queen of Hollywood musicals, Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire. Play around with that a while.
I'm not going to ask you a question. The question I'm not going to ask you is, who was your favourite dancing partner? Because you're not going to give me an answer to that, are you?
Well, I can't, because I've always said my favorite dancing partner is Bing Crosby. That gets me out.
Why is it though? I mean, Gene Kelly's exactly the same. You won't talk about your dancing partners. Why is that?
Well, it's difficult because the gals are all so good, and you just don't want to say, gee whiz, I like that one better than the other one. And it isn't, he had the same viewpoint as I just couldn't do it properly. I mean, each one had something special. And to say which is the best, I said, well, I really don't know. Some are more effective than others and all that.
Yes.
When it comes to actual dancing, there's certain ways and styles and techniques that do show. I I could go listing a whole lot of names, but I don't want to get any priorities in here because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings about it.
But did your attitude as a perfectionist, this warrior that you've admitted yourself being...
Excuse me, I must say, Ginger was certainly one, the most effective partner I had. Everybody knows that. It was a whole other thing, what we did. I can't say that. I just want to pay tribute to Ginger because we did so many pictures together, and believe me, it was a value to have that gal. Woo! Yeah. She had it. She was just great.
Yeah, there were all sorts of rumors about you and Ginger, weren't there, in Hollywood?
That we were fighting, huh?
Yes, that you were fighting. Yes.
Listen, that was the biggest nonsense ever. You told me, we were talking before, you told me there was somebody who said that there was a 25-year war
between you and your dancing
partners.
Yes.
Ridiculous. Absolutely nothing like. Ginger and I never had any fight. I never had any. When Ginger kicked me down the stairs, I loved it. I really did. I said, please do that again. And then